Parents, if you're washing endless baby bottles by hand, you need this. Meet the Momcozy bottle washer, your best friend in the kitchen. Manual on top, let's put that to the side. So this is the machine itself, not too big, right? Doesn't take up too much space. So this is my sink right here. I'm gonna put it right next to it. Yeah, not too bad, all right. There's this water reservoir, so we're just gonna take this tape off and get the wires out, get the power cable, the drainage hose. It does come with some tabs, detergent tabs, and a quick start guide, which is what we're gonna use here to set it up. On the back here is where this water reservoir will go. It just drops in like this, and you can use a pitcher to just like pour in directly, pour the water in directly, or you kind of just lift and then go straight to the sink. So we're gonna do that, straight to the sink and fill it up with water. All right, I've filled it up essentially all the way to the max line. I'm gonna put this back on there. While we are on the back of the device, we're gonna go ahead and attach the power cable, which, let me show you here, goes down here. Seems like it snaps on here. It comes with these suction cups, so you can suction it to the back of your sink so it's out of the way in your sink. Here, let me show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So you can snap bottles in. You can put your little nipple aerators, and you have a little tray for all the other stuff like nipples, caps, stuff like that on top. This is where the water will jet out of, and this little circulating thing. It looks like a mini dishwasher in here, doesn't it? Okay, let's go ahead and put this back in here. And if you have tall bottles, you can flip it over like this. I have the hose pointing downwards, not too much height so you can drain properly, but there's a pump in there that pumps it out. So some things to keep in mind as you load the device. These are spray nozzles, like in here as well. So align things with the spray nozzles so you're getting everything. So for example, you want to put the bottle such that it's kind of going on here so that the water is getting jet in there. Things like nipples and bottle caps that are going to hold water, you want to tilt them so that the water drains out. And some water droplets are going to remain, and that's just normal, just like a dishwasher. They do recommend that you only use the official detergent tabs. This is what it looks like in the box. Of course, you're going to end up having to buy more. There's a little Ziploc bag and very tiny little things. There's quite a few of them in here, as you can tell. Okay, so the tab, you just throw it in there somewhere. Make sure you pour out the milk before you put it in there. So I poured out most of the milk. You can see there, guys, pretty soiled. These are bottles from yesterday. So I wanted to kind of test it out, truly test this out. So I left these bottles. I don't usually leave bottles overnight, but when I wanted to leave it, so kind of to simulate when we have a baby. Right now we have a toddler and we're about to have a baby. Last time we had a baby, we spent a lot of times every single day washing bottles. So I decided to buy this before we even have the next baby. And of course, you can use it into toddlerhood because bottles are probably for the next 3 to 4 years if you just had a baby. So before they get used to open cups. So you might as well get this when you first have the baby. I wish I would have gotten this last time, but I don't think a lot of these were available. So I've pulled out the little bottle holders. These are for smaller bottles once your baby is like, over 3 months old, drinking 8 ounces. These might not be as useful because you have the bigger bottles. So yeah, these come out. You can see there's just a snap and you snap it back in. In the corners on all 4 sides, you have this thing, which is where you put that aerator kind of thing for the like anti-leak devices, the anti-colic devices, little tubes that you have inside the bottles. These will hold those. So I kind of remove those because I don't need them. And then this is what I've put in so far. And then on the top, because the bottles are tall, I have to put this upside down, and that's fine. It's meant to be used either way. And I'm going to put the top on here. So I have some straws, bottle caps, the silicone mouthpieces, bottles, everything in there. I'm going to turn it on for the first time. The water reservoir is full in the back. As well as the settings, you can see here, it'll tell you when there's no water. It'll tell you when it's drying, steam or fresh air. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Normal wash. There's also a rapid wash. So I'm just going to do a normal wash, and then you get storage, so you can have it set to where you're using it for storage more after. Steam, I think you use steam to essentially sterilize it. These, like I said, are toddler bottles, so I don't need to sterilize it. So I'm going to turn off steam, and we're going to just do a normal wash and dry. So let's go ahead and press play. It says about 30 minutes. So we'll come back in 30 minutes and see how it worked. I do want you to be able to hear how loud the noise is. It's not very loud at all. Okay, so it finished washing and went to the drying mode or the storage mode. So you can see the light blinking by where it's drying. So it's 14 minutes left for it to dry. So let me open it up. As soon as you open it up, it does pause. That's interesting. Actually, I didn't realize that. So there's some pooled water, and anytime, like I said, even in a dryer, pooled water is gonna stay if you have like these concave surfaces. So you can always kind of just tilt it and drip it out if you want. If you want it stone dry. Okay, so I didn't actually need to press that. As soon as I put the cap on, it would have turned back on. Let's try that again. So as soon as you lift it, it pauses. Let's go and put it back in. Yep, it turned on by itself. So you don't have to hit that play and pause. But of course, when the water's splashing, make sure you press that pause button because you don't want the water splashing out. So I think that's a nice feature. We're gonna check it out after it's completely dry and see how dry it is. Okay, so once the hot air drying is done, there's just like fresh air. So there's a filter on the bottom where the air goes through, and it's just fresh air drying, and you can see it's just kind of blowing cold, just room temperature air, and getting most of the water out. You can see like barely any water left. All right, so it's completely done. You can see some water spots because I do have hard water. So you're gonna have that problem, but look at all of that. All the water's gone off the top. So just some water spots inside, which is not something they can control, but you can see how everything's dry, including the straws. There's some water in here. There you go. So anything that can hold water will hold water. I guess I should next time put it sideways like this. So you kind of learn with every time you wash things about what things need to be angled and stuff like that. Let's look at our bottles down there. All right, so you can see on the concave part on the top there's some, so I'm gonna pour that away. Inside though, it looks crystal clear. The bottles are still warm. Little Stanley cup, it looks good too, clean. Just some water spots as expected. There's this thing, pour the water off the top here. Looks nice and clean. And then this bottle here, also nice and clean and still warm. Let's see. This had a lot of stuck on milk inside. It's all gone. It feels no grime, nothing like that. It feels completely clean. Perfect. And this thing, this was put on the right way, so there was no water left. But yeah, this one doesn't even have water spots. Looks nice and clean. So yeah, looks really clean, really nice. You can see how the fresh air fan was running. So it took about 30 minutes to wash, and then this fresh air, which is just air which has been warmed. I think it's been warmed because everything seems so dry, blowing, and it's just, yeah, it's all dry now. Looks great, works well, real quick. You can probably run it a couple times a day, once in the afternoon from the morning bottles, once at night, and get the job done. But you can see how it used up the entirety of the water tank, so you do have to fill it every time. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below and I'll be happy to answer. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.